Have you heard about the AK-47? I'm sure you know this is an assault rifle. It is one of the most popular ones out there. The AK-47 was originally developed by the Soviet Union, but it reached the Afghan Mujahideen during the 1980s. And since then, it has become a symbol of terrorists and terror groups. But now these groups are looking to trade up. They want NATO-grade weapons. And guess who is selling it to them? The Taliban. The rulers of Kabul have now become arms dealers. But how did this happen? You see, the Taliban came to power in the year 2021. It was a sudden power grab. The US military was forced to retreat. It was a hasty withdrawal. They left behind weapons, and a lot of them at that. Now, these weapons are flowing from Afghanistan into the global market. Basically, the Taliban is selling them. And who are the buyers? Anyone who is willing to pay the price. Insurgent groups, terrorists, militias, from the Al-Shabaab in Africa to the TTP in neighboring Pakistan, everyone who can afford to buy these weapons is buying them. And how many weapons are we talking about? The US left behind equipment worth $7.12 billion in Afghanistan. Imagine that. More than $7 billion of defense equipment. And that's not even the full picture. Since the year 2003, the US has given Afghan forces more than 600,000 weapons. 600,000 weapons, 300 aircraft, more than 80,000 vehicles, night vision goggles, biometric systems, basically everything that the US Army used. They gave it to the Afghan forces. And where did all of it go? Well, the Pentagon has no clue, but the world knows. They fell into the Taliban's hands. So basically, it was a failed system. America flooded Afghanistan with billions of dollars of weapons. But they did not care where these weapons went. There is no record of most of this. They don't know what was lost, what was given to the Afghan forces, what the Afghan forces sold to the Taliban, and what was later recovered. So amid all of this confusion, these weapons have showed up again. This time in black markets, from ad hoc bazaars in the desert to makeshift shops on the side of highways. The Taliban is selling these weapons everywhere, and they're making sure they get a premium price. I'll give you an example. A knockoff AK-47 sells for around $130 in these black markets. But an American M4 assault rifle can go for as much as $2,400. Imagine that. An assault rifle being sold for $2,400, and that too in the black market. The market price is anywhere between $800 and $2,000. The night vision goggles are also a popular purchase. They sell for nearly $1,000. Which brings us to the next big question. Where are all of these weapons going? The answer is everywhere. Neighboring Pakistan, Africa, Gaza, Balochistan, and even Kashmir. These weapons are flooding conflict zones. Recently, there were dramatic images of the Tehreek-e-Taliban or TTP attacking the Pakistan police. They had American assault rifles. They were wearing night vision goggles. And this ability to operate at night can be a game changer. Even in Kashmir, these weapons are being used by terror groups, the likes of Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. The valley is flooded with US M4 and M16 assault rifles. Authorities say they're seeing these weapons for the first time. So clearly, this is a worrying development. Now, for the Taliban, this is just like any other business. They've run smuggling networks for decades, selling drugs, gems, and other contraband. So arms trade is just another source of income for them. It doesn't matter who buys it. But for conflict zones, this is a very dangerous development. These weapons give terrorists an edge. And this is a serious setback in the fight against terrorism, all because of American callousness. The US trained the Afghan army for 2 decades. They spent some $83 billion to equip them. The same army could not stop the Taliban. For that matter, even the US army could not stop the Taliban. They left Afghanistan in a mess. And now the rest of the world has to suffer the consequences.